Hello everyone, welcome to another daily practice of our year of yoga. As we set an intention for today, taking a couple of deep breaths and then placing the hands on the ground behind our bottom, lifting our chest towards the sky, and then hands on our knees as we curve the spine in the opposite direction, dropping the head back and then dropping their chin towards the chest as we curl through the spine. One more time. And then sitting up tall again. Crossing the right knee over the left. Feet are by our side. Taking a deep breath in and then forward folding over our legs. Taking about 3 or 4 rounds of breath here. And then slowly pushing yourself back up. And cross over to the other side, so left leg goes over right leg this time. Tucking the feet in by our side. Deep breath in and then exhale, forward folding over the top. Resting the chest or the chin on the top of the leg. Starting to close down the mind. Releasing any thoughts that are popping in. Just allowing yourself to get into your own rhythm as we come back up. We're going to do it one more time on each side. So crossing the right leg over the left. Deep breath in, and then on the exhale, melting the upper body over the lower body. Feet are relaxed by our side. There's no tension in the neck. Shoulders are relaxed. Coming back up, crossing the legs the other way, left over right. Big deep breath in. And then on the exhale, melting the upper body over the lower body. And if you're finding that you can't come down onto your forearms, staying up on your hands is completely fine. Do what works for you. Taking the right leg long now, left leg bends up and over as we pull the left knee in towards our chest, sitting really tall. Taking our gaze to the side. And taking the left leg long, right leg comes up and over. Pulling the right knee in towards the upper body. Taking our gaze to the side. Taking the right leg long now. Left foot comes into the pelvis. And on the exhale, taking the right hand down the right leg. Breathing in, and then on the exhale, left hand over the right. And on each exhalation, try and get a bit further down. We'll touch the toes. Coming back to sit up, tucking the right foot into the pelvis, left leg goes long, breathing in, and then on the exhale, taking our left hand down our left leg. And then on the next exhale, taking the right hand on top of the left. Maybe reaching for the toes if you can. I couldn't touch my toes on this side today. Some days you'll be like that. One side is tighter than the other. Coming onto our knees into tabletop. Just setting up, making sure the elbows, the wrists are under the shoulders. Inhaling as we drop the head back, and then exhaling as we take the head under the body, taking our gaze through our legs. Inhaling, scooping the back, pushing the abdomen towards the mat, and then exhaling as we take our spine high. Inhaling, taking our gaze high. Exhaling into cat pose. Do it 2 more times. So just find your flow with your breath, with each transition. Shoo away any ants. And then back to neutral spine. Right arm long, left leg long now to bird dog, and then curling the body so that the elbow and the knee meet underneath the chest. And do this 5 times. That's 4. Last one, and changing it over to the other side. Left arm will go long, right leg will go long. Looking for elongation here. And then curling the body, bringing the elbow and knee underneath the chest. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Back to neutral spine. Doing some big circles now with our hips. 3 circles one way, and then 3 circles in the opposite direction. And then just taking the right knee out to the side of the mat, left leg going long, planting down through the right wrist and arm. Left arm is going high towards the sky, and then taking it up overhead so we get this elongation and separation through our side, creating space between the vertebrae and the ribs. And then coming back to your knees, changing it over to the other side, planting down through the left knee now and the left hand. Right leg goes long, right arm goes towards the sky. And then taking the arm overhead for an even deeper stretch. Continuing to breathe So we're not holding our breath here. And then coming onto our knees. Toes are tucked under. So giving our toes a good stretch here and the soles of our feet as we sit back on our heels. Maybe closing down the eyes. And then we're just going to bring ourselves up onto our knees and then sit back onto our heels. Just 5 times. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. And then place your hands on the small of your back. Just take the head back, chest high. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. It's supporting the lower back here with your hands, opening up the chest, or you can come down onto your heels if your body allows, and really opening up the heart towards the heavens. And slowly coming back up. Closing down the eyes as we sit on our heels for a moment, just to check in with our body. And then coming into our side pose again. So pressing up through the right hand and the right knee. Left leg goes long. Left arm goes high towards the sky. And then bringing it overhead. Creating that space again. And bringing the knees back to meet. Over to the other side, planting down through the left hand and the left knee. Right leg goes long. Right arm facing straight up towards the sky. And on the exhale, bringing it overhead. And then bringing the knees back together. Taking the knees really wide, extra wide, because we're on the side of our mat. Coming into child's pose. As we walk our hands forward and melt our forehead onto the floor in front of us. I'm just going to take 5 or 6 slow, deep, juicy rounds of breath here. Sending oxygen to the spots that are feeling maybe a little bit tighter than the rest of the body today. Feeling the diaphragm and the rib cage expand with each breath. And again, just releasing any thoughts that are coming in. So we come back up onto our hands and take the right arm and thread it through under the left arm as the left arm goes long. Just get a bit of a twist in this child's pose today. You might feel a beautiful stretch through the shoulders. And then using the left hand to push yourself back up, taking the left hand underneath the right arm now Twisting the upper body on the other side. Right arm goes long. And then when you're ready, using the right hand to push yourself back up. Just walking the feet underneath the body now. We're going to go straight into our yogic squat. Getting the feet in a position where your heels are on the mat underneath you. Hands are at prayer position. And then just taking the legs a little bit wider. It's going to come into a forward fold. The legs bent. Just dropping the head heavy, maybe grasping the elbows. Maybe holding onto the legs and pulling the upper body towards the legs to get an even deeper stretch. And then slowly coming up to standing. Lunging down onto the right side. Coming back to center. And then lunging down onto the left side. Back to center. Right side again. Over to the left. And once more each side. Feeling a beautiful stretch in the upper legs. Hands on our hips. We're going to do a straight-legged forward fold this time. So slowly moving the upper body towards the mat. You can see here I cannot touch the ground, so I will go for the elbows. If you've got a block, you can use a block so that you can get a little bit lower and have some support. Otherwise, just grab your shins or your ankles. Try and sink a little bit deeper. And then slowly coming back up to standing. Bringing the feet in towards each other. And just planting down through the left leg. We're going to wrap the right leg up and over and around, twisting the legs into eagle pose. The left arm coming up and under and wrapping around the right arm. Taking your gaze to something that is not moving in the distance. Maybe raising the shoulders a little bit higher, getting a deeper stretch through the arms. And then slowly taking the right leg back behind, arms out to the side, bringing the chest parallel with the ground. Holding for a moment. And then bringing the right leg forward and through and leaning back as far as you can. And then planting down through the right foot now. Left leg comes up and around the right. And then wrapping the right arm under and around the left. Maybe sinking the hips a little bit deeper. Taking the shoulders a little bit higher. And then maintaining balance if you can. Taking the left leg back, chest parallel to the ground. Holding for a moment. And then slowly coming forward. Leaning back as far as you can. Taking the left leg to the front. And then both feet touching as we come into tree pose now. Bringing the right foot on the inside of the left thigh. Hands in prayer position above our head. Or you can bring the hands to heart center. Just really switching on the core here and the legs. Making sure we're focused on something ahead of us that's not moving. And then the right hand will grab the right foot and pull it backwards. Left arm is out to the side in a ballerina pose. And then slowly releasing the foot to come back to meet the left. And then the left foot is coming up on the inside of the right leg. Big breath in as we bring our hands to prayer position above our head. And then lowering them to our heart space. Finding that focus. And then taking the left foot in the left hand, right arm out to the side. Pulling the right leg back to open up the hips and get a beautiful stretch in the legs. And then gently releasing and bringing the feet to meet on the mat. Hands by our sides now, fingertips spread wide. Shoulders are pulled away from the ears. Our tummy is switched on. Our thighs are rolling inward towards each other. You can close down the eyes. And taking our stance wide again, taking a big deep breath in. Forward folding over our legs for this straight-legged forward fold. Grabbing the shins. And then slowly standing back up, coming into our yogic squat. So bringing the feet a little bit closer together and then taking our bottom towards the mat. Hands are in prayer position, our elbows are pushing out our knees. And we're opening up our hips. Hands on the mat behind as we sit down. Slowly lowering the body to the mat. Bringing the feet closer to the bottom as we push up into bridge pose. Squeezing the glutes, coming up onto our shoulders. Maybe interlacing the hands underneath the bottom and pulling the arms away from the shoulders. Pulling the arms away from the ears, I should say. And we're just going to do some pelvic tilts here. So tilting the pelvis up towards the head and then taking the chest high towards the sky. Tilting the pelvis up and then the chest. So running through about 5 rounds of this pose. Just to get a bit more movement through the lower back, helping it unlock. Taking the feet wide and just letting the knees fall into each other now. And then hugging the knees towards the chest. Coming into reverse pigeon. Right ankle is on the left leg. You can use the right hand to push the right knee away from the body if that feels better for you. Otherwise, just grabbing behind the left thigh. As we change over to the other side now, left ankle on right knee, pulling the right leg towards the body. Maybe using the left hand to push the left knee away from the head. Placing both feet back down onto the mat. Taking the right leg long, hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Changing sides. Right knee towards the chest, left leg long. Just going to move through this a couple of times. And then taking the knees out wide, letting them hang heavy, opening up the hips even further. Maybe doing some circles, bringing the knees in, down, out, bringing them up, in, down, and out. One more time. Bringing the feet back to the mat. Taking both feet long. Coming into Shavasana. Getting comfortable. Just sinking deep into relaxation here. And I just want to read a little bit from Light on Life by BKS Iyengar. And he talks about stability in the physical body, the asana, and how people who practice yoga embark on the inward journey towards the core of their being. And how when we're on this spiritual path, we can't forget the body. We need to keep it active, and that's where the practice of yoga really supports us on our spiritual quest and is a means of achieving essential vitality. But we're not here to just use yoga as a way of strengthening the body and keeping it active. It's also a way to bring awareness in the mind. The physical body is not only the temple for our soul, but the means by which we embark on the inward journey towards the core. So yoga is there as a resource, I guess, It offers us techniques to become aware, to expand and penetrate, and to change and evolve in order to become competent in the lives we live. Yoga allows us to understand our body with ever greater insight, and through the body to understand our mind and reach our soul. Through yoga, we develop the qualities of earth within ourselves. Solidity, shape, firmness, and strength. And when we become free from physical disabilities, emotional disturbances, mental distractions, we open the gates to our soul. And we can't just rely on the physical side of yoga to understand this. We have to integrate our body with our breath, with our mind, with our intelligence, with our consciousness, and with our core. And in this way, we can experience true integration and reach the ultimate freedom. So as we bring some movement back into our body now, I hope you're feeling a little bit freer. I know I definitely am. And I want to congratulate you for being here and practicing yoga, no matter where you are on your journey. We all have to start somewhere, and you should honor that. As we close down our eyes in a seated position, just taking a moment to come from gratitude and offer love and kindness to ourselves as we bring our hands to our third eye. May we have kind and loving thoughts today as we lower them to our mouth. May we speak kind and loving words today as we lower our hands to our heart center. May we have kind and loving intentions today. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. Wherever you are in the world, I'm sending so much love your way. Namaste.